Hello and welcome to this very interesting episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. Today we have Christina here with us, and she is actually a business owner, and she's focused on those voice agents that she started building for businesses. So, Christina, please introduce yourself and your business to our audience.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much, Tony. Such a pleasure meeting with you and connecting with you. Branched out and started my own insurance agency after managing Geico. I think I was with them for 15 years. I started my own goosehead agency, and I think a lot of the things that people don't realize is, it's great to be your own business owner, but there's so many checklist boxes that we don't realize are there until we're in the middle of it, right? And one of the first things that really got to me was like, oh my God, like I'm a behind the scenes person. I'm not in front of the camera person. I'm like, I did not start this business to become a content creator and be an influencer. Like, But then the second part was one of my job was to be in front of people, loan officers, realtors, to build connections. And while I was doing that, my phone started ringing, and how my brain works is I start freaking out. I'm like, it could be a sale, but I don't want to be rude. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't hire a receptionist because I'm brand new. I'm trying to, build my book of business first. And I had already started learning marketing with Billy Jean, who's a fantastic mentor and coach. And he had just introduced this thing called Voice AI, and we were learning to build it. And I just thought, well, let me go ahead and give it a shot. Let me build it. And so I did. And I had the agent basically learn or program it to ask all the questions that I needed for underwriting. So, how old is your roof? How old is the home? Do you have any pets? Things that would take you maybe 20 minutes throughout the conversation to do. And I implemented it, and it worked. It worked so beautiful. And so the amount of relief and stress that it took off my plate was so immense. I thought, oh my God, I'm definitely sure I'm not the only person that can benefit from this. I know so many other people where, they miss opportunities because, you're in the car writing on an envelope, call this person back, and then it gets lost, right? Not because we're not trying to be organized. It's just that life's happening at a very fast pace, and there's so many things to do that things fall through the crack. So that's where my obsession or passion came from, helping business owners, especially moms, because now moms have to worry about doctor's appointments and, you know, meeting with teachers and soccer games. And it's just a whole other layer of things to remember, right? So that is why I'm targeting moms, because I think moms need the most help. I think I shared with you that I saw a study in the past 5 years where the pharmaceutical medication that moms are taking, they went up. And I know because I was one of those moms. I had to take Xanax for anxiety because it was just too overwhelming. I took Adderall for focusing, and then you find yourself in this loop that you really want to break out of. You feel like you went from one cage or prison to another cage that you essentially built yourself. And I was like, there has to be a different way. There has to be a better way. And I found that AI was that way for me.
Wow, phenomenal. And yeah, so tell us a little bit more about what applications this can be used for in terms of the business, in terms of the entrepreneurship, when it comes to moms or anyone.
I mean, it literally can be applied to any aspect. When I first started using the voice AI, because I came from such a high volume of calls with Geico, my phone rang nonstop that it was such a relief to not have to answer, to where I even sent my husband would call my phone and he would get my agent and he's like, "Can you please take me off?" I'm like, "No, I can't take you off. If I take you off, I have to take everybody off." I'm like, "No, so just leave a message with my agent and I will get back to you shortly, okay?" So it's just basically, and you don't need to use it all the time, right? So that's the beautiful thing. Um, when you're available, you can put it as a secondary, so you can answer the calls and talk to your customers. But if it gets busy, then she backs up and she's like, "Hey, Christina's on the other line. I can help her," and then she'll call you right back, you know? But um, it can automatically book to your calendar. So not only does it take the information, but then you would have to go into Google Calendar, whatever, and then you would have to manually enter. Nope, it will say, "Hey, Christina has these spots available. She's got a Monday at 11 o'clock, a Friday at 10 o'clock, whatever works best for you." And whenever you give it the time, it puts it on the calendar. So you don't even have to do that, and then sends you a text. "Hey, you just have a new appointment, XYZ," and gives them the option to reschedule, cancel in a certain amount of time. So that's one. The second one that's really great, and a lot of people would appreciate this, is lead qualification. So we know a lot of people want things, right? But they're not maybe able to afford it. For example, like I have a contractor, his niche or target is basically luxury remodel, anything $20,000 or more. So if a person calls in, instead of having a whole conversation and then just coming to find out the person doesn't want to spend more than maybe 10,000, that's a entire call wasted. So what the agent does is it qualifies it for you. Okay, what's the square footage? How much are you looking to spend? Or even the target radius area, because if it's more than say 10 miles out of his radius area, then it's not a lead for him, right? So that just saved you another uh, call, because time is the most valuable asset we have. We only have 24 hours in the day. And so we need to use those 24 hours to do what drives the needle to get your goals accomplished. So this helps organize and filters that out.
Exactly, and that's a great point. And speaking about the goals, so what's your goal for your business for next 12 months?
Next 12 months, I want to basically focus on the voice AI and the web widget. I offer other stuff to give the complete package, but I think just implementing those two, people will see such a huge impact. They're going to see their staff happier, right? Because it's doing a lot of the legwork. Now you're armed with the information. Like if it already took all the underwriting information, when I call that client back, I'd be like, "Oh my God, I see you went to Tulane. So did me and my husband." So now it feels like a flowing conversation, right? Um, so I think you're going to see just more energetic, happier staff, organized, um, I don't know, receptive. I think people just need to give it a chance, you know, and they're gonna understand the value that it brings to them as a client and as a business owner. Because a client, all they want is for their problems to be fixed, right? They really don't care how you get it fixed. They just want it to be done, because so many people promise and don't deliver.
Definitely, yeah, yeah. And so, if people want to actually get in touch with you, learn more about you, connect to you, how they can do that, Christina?
Lifebots.co, not .com, so lifebots.co. I also have my personal brand, ChristinaMolasan.com, and that actually is my journey, because my journey's been um, it's been different from a lot of people. I immigrated from Belize to Nicaragua to Miami to New Orleans, lived in Costa Rica for a little bit. I didn't graduate college. Not that I didn't go to college. I just, my dad wanted me to be an attorney. I studied history and literature, but I knew that there was a calling for me somewhere. I love serving people. I have a passion for kids, and this is my thing. I love seeing spirit, or the essence of spirit, turn into physical form. So like a seed to a plant. And so I would hope that throughout the next year, just like I do with the Rewards for Reading program, I want to teach kids how to use AI to become independent, how to make money, you know, how to become an entrepreneur, and show them that AI is not just for plagiarizing like people think. It's for learning. You know, you can ask it. You could literally ask it anything and learn anything. It's like being given a entrance to Harvard, you know. That's how I learned AI, you know. I just kept asking questions. I don't mind asking questions. That's how you learn. You fail and repeat, you fail and repeat. So I'm hoping, I want to do it in Belize here because, you know, we're a third world country when we're poor, but even in America where we're at, I want to show these kids that anything is possible. Anything's possible. You just have to have the will, you know, to get the skill.
Exactly. Christina, it was a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your stories, sharing your knowledge, sharing your experiences and tips as well. Thank you all for watching, listening to this episode. If you liked it, drop us a like, subscribe. If you have any questions for Christina or me, you can ask them in the comments. And again, see you all in the next episode. Christina, thank you very much.
Tony, thank you so much. You're fabulous. Yes, please follow Tony.
Thank you.